We overlook, a name that whispers of isolation, of grandeur turned to decay. Our story begins high in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, where winter holds the land in its icy grip. The camera soars over endless stretches of snow-dusted pines, a vast, beautiful, and unforgiving wilderness. We descend, closing in on the imposing figure of the hotel itself, a monument of timber and stone perched on a lonely peak. Inside, the air is thick with the scent of old wood and unspoken secrets. We find ourselves in a small, almost claustrophobic office. Jack Torrance, a man wrestling with demons, both internal and external, sits across from Mr. Ullman, the hotel's manager. Ullman is all business, his words precise and clipped. He speaks of the hotel's history, the prestige, the challenges of being the winter caretaker. But then his tone shifts. He hesitates, leaning forward, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. He has to mention a previous unpleasantness. The winter of 1970, the caretaker, a man named Delbert Grady. A simple case of cabin fever, Ullman explains, a bit too quickly. Grady, his wife, and their 2 little girls, all alone for the winter. It ended tragically. A murder suit. The details are grim, brutal. Ullman assures Jack it's just a formality, a bit of hotel history. But the seed has been planted. The shadows in the office seem to deepen, and the Overlook has claimed its first victim of the season. The truth. Back in Boulder, miles away from the looming mountains, a small boy named Danny stands before a bathroom mirror. But the face staring back isn't entirely his own. He is somewhere else, lost in a trance. A voice, not his, echoes in his mind. Tony. It's Tony who shows him things, frightening things. The reflection warps, and the mirror becomes a window into a place of terror. Quick, jarring flashes assault his senses. A long, red-stained corridor. 2 girls in blue dresses, standing side by side, their eyes empty. And a word, scrawled in crimson across a door, "Redrum." The image shatters, replaced by the heavy, menacing shape of a roque mallet, its wooden head slick with something dark. The visions intensify, a chaotic storm of horror, until the connection is too much. Danny's small body convulses, and he crumples to the bathroom floor, a silent scream trapped on his lips. His mother, Wendy, finds him moments later, her own scream piercing the sudden, awful quiet. For Danny, the Overlook's darkness has already reached out. The drive up the winding mountain road is a journey into another world. The yellow Volkswagen Beetle, a tiny speck of color against the vast, monochrome landscape, carries the Torrance family towards their new, temporary home. As they round the final bend, the Overlook Hotel reveals itself in its full, breathtaking glory. It's immense, a sprawling palace of gables and windows that seem to watch their approach. For Wendy, it's a chance for a fresh start, a place for her family to heal. For Jack, it's a sanctuary, the perfect isolation to finish his play. For Danny, it's the heart of the nightmare. As they settle in, they meet Dick Halloran, the hotel's head chef. His warm, friendly smile is a stark contrast to the hotel's cold grandeur. On the loading dock, amidst the clatter of departing staff, Halloran pulls Danny aside. He sees something in the boy, a reflection of a gift he himself possesses. He calls it the shine, the ability to see things, to know things, to see the past and sometimes the future. He explains that the hotel, this old, grand building, has a shine of its own. It holds memories, traces of every person who has ever stayed within its walls. Most are good memories, but some are bad. The bad memories can be strong enough to be seen. He leans in closer, his voice low and serious. He warns Danny to stay away from room 217. He doesn't say why, but the fear in his eyes is reason enough. He makes Danny promise. As Halloran prepares to leave for his winter home in Florida, he offers one last piece of advice. If there's trouble, if Danny needs him, he just has to call out, to send a message with the shine. The last of the staff departs, their cars winding down the mountain road until they disappear. The silence that descends is profound, absolute. The Torrances are truly alone. The massive hotel is now their private kingdom and their prison. To distract from the growing unease, Jack takes Danny to explore the grounds. They find the playground, a lonely collection of swings and a slide, already dusted with a fine layer of snow. And beyond it stands the topiary garden, hedges expertly trimmed into the shapes of animals. A lion, a rabbit, a dog. They stand frozen, green figures against the white snow. Jack laughs, pointing them out to Danny. But as the boy turns his back just for a second, he feels a prickle of unease. He glances over his shoulder. Did the lion just move? He shakes his head, dismissing it. But later, as he looks out his bedroom window, he sees them again. The hedge animals. They're not in the same positions. He's sure of it. The rabbit is closer to the playground. The lion seems to have turned its head, its leafy gaze fixed on the hotel. The Overlook is playing with him, testing him. The inanimate world is coming to life, and the rules of reality are beginning to bend. The heart of the Overlook isn't in its grand ballroom or its luxurious suites. It's deep in the basement, in the boiler room, a cavern of pipes and machinery groaning under the pressure of its age. It's Jack's responsibility to maintain it, to bleed the pressure from the ancient, temperamental boiler. The hiss of escaping steam is a constant, sibilant whisper, the Hotep's own venomous breath. As Jack turns the valves, his hands stained with grease, he feels the building's immense weight, its history pressing down on him. Outside, the sky has turned a leaden gray. A single, perfect snowflake drifts down, then another and another. The snow begins to fall, softly at first, then with a silent, determined fury. It blankets the road, buries the playground, and conceals the watching topiary animals. It erases the path back to the world they left behind. The Overlook is sealing itself off, locking them in. The trap is set. The real winter has begun. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the darkness, be sure to like this video and subscribe for the next episode. You won't want to miss what happens next.